You're right there, Mark here, going over quite a sensitive subject for a lot of people in the war gaming side of the hobby, and that is recasts. So I got this little care package here, and we're just going to have a discussion about recasts and what a lot of people think about it. So I'll catch you in a minute. Alright, so before I start this video, I've quickly opened up the box, alright? I haven't actually looked on the inside. But I am not advocating or forcing my opinion or anything like that in this video. Alright, this is just multiple views that I've seen while researching this subject, because I understand it is very, very sensitive for a lot of people for multiple reasons that I'll hopefully go over in this video. Also, anyone who wants to have details of how to do this, I am not sharing those details. Alright, I am not actively going to go out, go to this person, go to that person, blah, 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 blah. I'm not, like, advocating it per se. Hopefully that's the right terminology. I'm kind of going with the flow as well as I can be. Now, recasting in a nutshell, if you are not aware, recasting is getting said item, such as, let's say, this one here, getting the weapon, let's say, putting it in some form of mold, letting the mold cure, taking said item out of mold, and then pouring in some form of resin, epoxy, something to then allow you to make a cast out of that mold. And that is the term of recasting. Now, we're not going to beat around the bush. Recasting someone else's intellectual property is illegal in many, many, many parts of the world. Okay? Depends on what country you're in and so on and so forth. But it is theft of intellectual property. IP. Now, the reason why a lot of people find it more tempting to walk that grey line than instead of going outright theft is A, the cost of the models. Not gonna lie, wargaming, just wargaming in general, can be very expensive. And a lot of people want to play, but don't have the finances to do it. So that's one draw into recasting. That then leads into, some contention in the whole subject of recasting. But that is one of the reasons why people get drawn into it. There are some views out there which is very much like, if you can't afford the hobby, you shouldn't be in the hobby. Which I find that very negative view. I do find that a very negative view. But everyone's allowed their opinion. Now, I was reading a fair few articles, Reddit posts, other YouTube videos out there, and people have done surveys and so on and so forth of people's point of view on recasting. And it was really quite surprising what came back, as in percentage-wise. And there was a lot more people for recasting, in general, than never touching recasts. But a lion's share of the people that would do recasting would only do it on out of production models, because they are not willing to pay the very, very high price on places such as eBay to get these models and parts and whatever you want to call them. Then another share would just wargaming in general is just very expensive. Fine. But yeah, that is your choice. But I've got these ones here from one of these recasters. So let's have a gander. Now, I've done a video about 5 years ago, I'll put a link in the description down below of having some bad experience with a recast from eBay, where I was given a gift from a friend who bought a Terminator, limited edition Terminator Chaplin, and the eBay seller never stated it was a recast. So that is one of the things you've got to be careful of when you go onto eBay. If you find something that's out of production and it's normally 50 odd quid, let's say, and you find it on there for 20 odd quid and it's from some Eastern European country or some place in Asia, be a bit dubious. But these ones here are out of production parts. So I've obtained some shoulder pads, Mark IV unless I'm mistaken, to continue work on my Dark Angel Horus Heresy. Now, a little story on these ones here. I'm using them on my Horus Heresy set, and I've been looking around on eBay for many months, and there was only one listing that came up, and it worked out. It was like £1.50 a shoulder pad, and there was only 30 of them. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that can be one of the reasons why people would go for older production parts, because it's not like they're currently in production. It's not like you can just pop to your local online store and pick up some more. That's potentially why a lot of people are more swaying towards the out of production stuff. Then I've got hold of some of these Land Raider parts here, these doors, and looking at the actual casting, yeah, this is generally quite a scary thought that these are very much indistinguishable from the legit part. And that's where it comes into question, where you could have someone who's trying to sell legitimate parts, or recast parts, then potentially lower the value. So that's where a negative part of it comes into it. It's theft of businesses' intellectual property. It's obviously devaluing the stock that's already in circulation, counterfeiting money, that kind of thing, if you know anything about that. But yes, it's, as I said, this is a very sensitive subject. I'm just trying to be careful what I say, because I'm not trying to say you should or shouldn't do it. I'm just trying to give you, who's watching right now, the facts. It is, when I was looking through the contact, the pricing on these recasts that you can get compared to buying legit stuff, some of it is quite a hefty discount. Some of it is maybe 30 quid down to £25. Not really worth the recasting, let's just say. But other parts are like £100 legal model. I could then buy it for £24 or £30. Now that makes it a lot more tempting, does it not? But genuinely, this is all open to your own opinion. A big elephant in the room that's becoming more and more big of an issue for wargaming miniature providers in general isn't just recasting, 3D printing. The amount of quality that you get from 3D printing nowadays, that's something that needs to be kept, you know, firms need to keep an eye out for it. Maybe they start working on doing STL sales and stuff like that. But while miniatures are potentially quite high to buy in value wise, recasting is going to be a thing. If you can do it, a lot of people will do it. Alright? But before I waffle on any more, I do hope this has been somewhat informative. It is a very difficult subject, and I do hope down in the comments down below, when people are commenting and stuff like that, people are just being respectful. I genuinely do wish that, alright? Just be respectful. We don't know people's circumstances. We don't know what they can or can't do. So please, can we be respectful? Because in the previous video I done about 5 years ago, everyone was being very respectful. And just chatting and discussing and talking, alright? If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with people that may be like-minded and just curious. But as always, thank you so very, very much for joining along on this very different subject from normal. And yeah, genuinely do hope you take care of yourself, and to catch you in the next one. Take care.